Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Mugen Lord here, and today we're going to talk about Nintendo versus Pocket Pair. You know, the developers behind Palworld. It's been a while since we actually covered it here on this channel, and it seems as though that a new revelation has pretty much arise. And before we even discuss that, I know there's probably some of you guys out there that don't know what the hell is going on. Who is Pocket Pair? What does Nintendo have to do with this? Well, Pocket Pair is the independent developers behind the game Palworld. Now, you can argue what you want to argue. I'm not here to talk about that aspect because Pocket Pair has pretty much shocked the industry as far as I'm concerned when it comes to, you know, jumping in with a small studio and you just put together, take assets and create the game that you want to create and made a shit ton of money. And Palworld is quite interesting because it's like an amalgamation, a mismatch of so many different things. Fortnite, in a sense, Pokemon. You got a lot of shooter aspects. It's just funny how this game comes all together. But the game became really popular. A lot of content creators, streamers, many people loved the game when it first launched and came out, and it still has players. And they had reached a high amount of concurrent players at the time of its release that they weren't even expecting to garner at that time. And so they have gained a lot of success. And with that success, they have brought a lot of controversy and they have brought the attention to Nintendo themselves, who slapped them with a lawsuit in regards of their monster capture mechanics that they had supposedly had a patent on. And this had upset a lot of gamers within the gaming industry and the gaming community in general, because they were saying, how can you patent or have a copyright on the monster capture feature? So what does that mean for anybody that wants to do a monster capture type of game? If someone like Nintendo are patenting features like that, and not even just the capture feature, but also riding your animals, your mounts and everything as well. So this had caused a lot of controversy. They slapped them with the lawsuit, and Pocket Pair had to pretty much patch in the game to remove that capture feature and change it up, which turned a lot of gamers off because that was an aspect, no matter how small it was, but that was an aspect that people loved about the game. So it caused some gamers to walk away from it because of that. This was like another thing to add to that list to why you should hate Nintendo in that regard. So what is going on right now? What is this revelation that's happening right now? They got people talking as far as Nintendo concerned. Well, apparently that there was a patent that was rejected from the Japanese patent office when it comes to Nintendo and their recent Pokemon titles with the capturing mechanics, and it was rejected. And a lot of people are now saying and speculating what's going to happen now with the Pocket Pair lawsuit. If the Japanese patent office have rejected this capturing mechanic for their recent Pokemon games, what does this mean for Pocket Pair? Are they in the safe? Will this lawsuit be dropped? This is actually an L that most people see for Nintendo, and I wanted to discuss and talk about it here in this video. So we're going to dive right into it right now. It's from Palworld in the Comics. It says, critical hit. Japan Patent Office rejects Nintendo's monster capturing application. May affect Palworld's lawsuit. So we're going to dive right into it. It says the Japanese Patent Office have rejected a Nintendo patent regarding the catching of monsters in action gameplay, the mechanics of recent Pokemon titles. But how could this affect the patent infringement lawsuit against Pocket Pair and their game Palworld? Yes, I definitely want to know. So you see like an image right here. It shows how it works, the patent they have for the capturing mechanic and everything. It says, Games Frey, intellectual property activist Florian Mueller reports that the Japanese Patent Office, JPO, have rejected Nintendo's 2024-031879 patent. Why this is of note is that as patents can be amended with subsequent versions, while the original date of the first still counts for all subsidiaries. So it said the 2024 is the parent of the 2024-123-560 and the child of 2023-204-842. Man, this is a lot of jargon that I do not understand here, but let's go on with this. It says both of these are two of the three lawsuits Nintendo accused Pocket Pair of infringing with Palworld, related to catching monsters, throwing an item, having an indicator showing the chances of success, and more. Doesn't that sound stupid, guys? Like, how do you gain ownership or have a patent over information that shows the success of you capturing a monster? Like, that is crazy. How can you get away with something like that? But let's move on. Patent 2024 031879 was rejected due to a third-party submission of prior art. Prior art is evidence someone else has done something someone is trying to patent, as patents need to not only be novel, but also innovative, not obvious, or something a person of ordinary skill would produce by combining existing things. So yes, that makes sense. So if you was to put something out there and say, hey, we also found somebody else that was trying to do the same thing, then if that is the case, it's not really innovative. It's not really something that no one else can do when there's already proof out there that someone else tried to patent something quite similar to it. This is crazy. Let's move on. It says prior art was a major part of the Pocket Pair's defense in the lawsuit, arguing Nintendo shouldn't have the patents that they are accused of infringing. The other being that they didn't infringe upon them anyway. Mueller speculates this third party could indeed be Pocket Pair, as despite the case, they are a third party to Nintendo's dealing with the JPO. That is also interesting. It could be them. Who knows? Regardless, the prior art of the JPO cited in their rejection does match some of the titles Pocket Pair reportedly wished to submit. Then it has the prior art that led to JPO rejecting Nintendo's patent includes Ark, Survival Evolved, Monster Hunter 4, Pocket Pair, Craftopia, as we noted previously, browser game, Kantai Collection, and even Pokemon Go. All these games predate Nintendo's prior date of December 2021 for the patent in question, a monster capturing mechanics it described first. The JPO's rejection letter, translated by Games Frey, also described Ark's mechanics for having captured features fight one another, not unlike Nintendo's recent patent on having summoned creatures battle one another. So you see how crazy this is? There's so many other games that does this, and yet Nintendo tried to have a monopoly on this, try to have ownership over this. So the rejection is non-final. So Nintendo can appeal via amending what the patent describes. In theory, this places Nintendo in a dilemma. Don't change enough and the patents will still reject. But change too much, and if deemed relevant to court, it wouldn't apply to Palworld. So yes, that's quite interesting, because as it mentions here, they in a tight spot is for the fact is that if they change very little, then it still will get rejected. It wasn't enough to try to distinguish itself to be something different and unique. But if they change too much, then it will fall out of the category of what they were trying to sue Palworld or Pocket Pair for. That is crazy. While Nintendo can go to a special court, the Intellectual Property High Court, Mueller reports that the process of drafting and resubmitting patents in Japan, patent prosecution, has been deemed an endless loop by the World Intellectual Property Report. All of this while Nintendo are trying to alter their patents mid-lawsuit. Oh, wow. These dudes, they're slick. That was the thing. That's what it was. Palworld got so popular, it got to their attention, and they tried to go after these guys, and then mid-lawsuit try to change things. This is interesting. That is some shady shit. Such as third and final patent regarding smoothly switching between different kinds of mounts. This isn't the silver bullets to take down the big red giant. Mueller paradoxically reported how the patent rejection can mean nothing or everything. Initially, the IP consultant explains the decision has no direct impact on the lawsuit, farther undermining the fact that it can be appealed, and that the JPO's decision is not binding to the preceding judge, Motoyuki Nakashima. Later, Mueller admits that judges are legally trained and tend to have respect for the determinations made by the patent examiners, who are technically trained. Pocket Pair could insist the court considers relevant developments with the patent, especially as it is related to patents the very case is about. Judge Nakashima would have to consider the above and that, as aforementioned, Nintendo modifying their other patents mid-trial. Mueller assumes this is why the case has been delayed and that we won't see any decisions within this year. yes, this is interesting. The fact is that Nintendo's going out of their way to try to switch up mid a lawsuit or mid trial to try to switch things up and their patents and everything is very, very telling of what Nintendo true intentions were. They're trying to push out the competition. That's what they're trying to do. And the fact is that if Palworld, if I was them, and I know this stuff costs money, but if I was them, I would really bring that up. And that may be the case, as the article said. That may be the case, especially if they're delaying the trial right now or the case right now. We definitely going to hear nothing. We're near the end of 2025. So we definitely ain't going to hear nothing until most likely next year. But the fact is that this actually came up, and this revelation is really telling of what Nintendo is trying to do. And I'm telling you right now, they already knew that. Nintendo knew that. But Nintendo is Nintendo. Nintendo's going to do what Nintendo is going to do. And because they have been winning so much, and especially when it comes to these types of lawsuits, they think they can do it again. And the fact is that we finally got some evidence that, hey, there's other companies out there, which we already knew. We didn't even need this to be able to know that this monster caption feature is not unique to Nintendo. They didn't invent this. Other games have been doing this for some time and everything. But the fact is that they tried to, sue or have a lawsuit for the fact is that you can't show the success rate of whether or not you can capture this monster is ridiculous. I don't think something like that should be able to be patented. That is something simple that can be produced by anybody with that talent within the gaming industry to be able to do something like that. But the fact is that they're trying to change things mid-trial really says a lot of what Nintendo is trying to do here when it comes to Pocket Pair. They're really trying to be bullies towards this small, little small company that had gained success amongst the fans and everything. And I think that's really scummy, and I think that's really shitty of Nintendo to do something like that. And I really hope that they lose this. I really hope. But as I said before, and as they mentioned, that this really doesn't mean anything, and at the same time it can mean something. It depends on how they go about it, because the Japanese court system is totally different from the American court system and how they honor things. So we have to wait and see. And I think this is something that I'm definitely going to follow, since a lot of you guys found interest in what we've been covering when it came to this lawsuit in general. So we want to wait and see. I definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think Nintendo's going to lose this deservedly? Or do you think this is a nothing burger and Palworld still won't be able to win this at all? So I definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you played Palworld and you've still been playing it, how's the game? I haven't played Palworld at all. It's just not something that I'm into, but I know, and I know a lot of people who play it and enjoy it. I definitely want to know. And how's the DLC coming along as far as that's concerned? Do you enjoy it? Do you see a future for Palworld? Do you think this is going to be an ongoing game? I definitely want to know that. So if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe button for more gaming content here on this channel. This is Mugen Lord signing off. I'll see you game fiends later. Peace out.